Hey guys, this is Huzon here. This is probably the first video in which you hear my voice, and to that I say welcome to my channel. A little bit about myself for those who do not know me, which is probably the majority of you. I've been dabbling with electronic music production for a little bit, and I won't say I'm like awesome at it, but I do enjoy it, and it's a great way to learn about sound design, music theory, songwriting, especially, and a bunch of other things. Anyway, when I'm not doing that, what I do like to do is listen to songs, but also look at their spectrograms, because my day job is a linguist, and I like looking at these things. And I find that you can learn a lot about how a sound is designed by looking at a spectrogram, which I guess you can also learn by just listening to it, but my ears are terrible, and I think I trust my eyes a little bit more. Yeah, for those who do not know what a spectrogram is, I don't think I'm going to explain what they are. Maybe in a different video, because I know this is going to take me, I don't know, close to half an hour. I already went through like one rehearsal of this thing, and it took 29 minutes. So I don't want to bore you or take too much of your time. So I'm just going to assume you know what a spectrogram is. I'm using Wave Candy here. It's an FL Native plugin, which has a oscilloscope and whatever. But I usually have a default spectrogram here. The preset I'm using is Audacity Spectrum. I use Audacity a lot. I like the spectrum settings that I use there, so I tried to replicate it here. So I can actually show you. So what? I don't care about the update so much, but I want as many bands as possible. I don't like natural weighting so much, and enhanced frequencies doesn't tell me a whole lot. So, actually, I'll just show you what that sounds like. Okay, so I'm gonna spread this out a little bit. It's a little too much here. Okay. So, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you some cool things in Galantis' sort of latest track, Spaceship, featuring Uffie, I think it is. And there was a remix contest earlier this week, which I only found out 2 days before it was due, so I didn't have time to do anything. But they released stems, and that's awesome, because now we can like listen to individual stuff and look at the spectrogram and see like what kind of things they did in terms of sound design, or even I guess arrangement. Okay, so they provided an instrumental track which is basically a bounce of all of these other ones minus the vocals, and I'm just going to delete that because we don't want that. Okay, so song structure, I don't know, verse, build, drop, break, verse, build, drop. Okay. Yeah, so I mean I could probably label these. This obviously drop. Whatever. Where's the build? Break is here. Build and drop. Okay. Cool. So what do we have here? So one by one. So we're gonna solo that. I don't do a lot of drum programming. Well, that's sort of a weird statement to say because I do hardstyle, and yeah, hardstyle is all about that kick basically. So to say that I don't do drum programming is a lie. But I don't know that much about kicks. Can't really say much about this. They picked a very sort of bouncy kick. Not a lot of tail. Some kicks, like, they have the tail sort of with a sustain, so you get a little bit of bass frequency there. But this one not so much. What is interesting is later on during the drop, you can see just through the waveform that on the downbeat of the first beat of each bar, that kick is actually a little bit different. I don't know what they did there. I think the attack is a little different, but it's not so obvious. Right. So this is the first one right here. You can see a little bit more with the frequencies here, but I think it just sounds a teeny bit louder. And that's about it. So that helps like emphasize like where the bar is, and they do that for the drop. They have a build up here, but that's just like based on volume, so there's no like high pass. Yeah, there's no high pass here or low pass, or I don't know what you would use. Anyway, and that continues for the rest of it. Not so interesting. Moving on, we have the piano, and Galantis likes to use piano a lot, at least the songs that I've listened to. And so if we listen here, so they've used a low pass with a sweep, and it keeps things nice and below, I don't know, 600, 700 hertz. There's a reason for that, probably. Right, because all the vocals are above this line here, so they are leaving headroom, which is nice. Makes it clean, doesn't muddle frequencies. And here, I think they did that because, one, it sounds muted, and it leaves room for their risers. So let's go back. It's a high pass sweep. Sounds pretty nice. They also do something interesting here. Oh, it actually is over here. Yeah, so that bit right there is I feel I'm not entirely sure what this is. It's either a phaser or they did a band pass sweep, so band stop. No, actually no. There's low pass. It almost looks like some band passing too. I don't know. Anyway, the other thing that's interesting is that it's ducked, so this fits in with the kick. Side chains rather. So you see it, the kick fits in real nice right there. See empty frequencies on the beat, add in the kick, and you see the attack fitting in real nice. What else do we have here? More low pass. Low pass. Low pass. And I love this bit. Like, I could play that over and over. It's like the stuttered stuff is... I don't know, something about it. I don't know. But it adds a little bit of flair to it. rest is not so interesting. It's about the same. This almost looks like the reverse of what we saw earlier, just in the opposite direction. And towards the end. As you can see, there's a little bit of reverb. Okay, so there's that. The ride portion, which is honestly, I think it's more of a hat, but this is during the build. Oh, towards the end of the drop, actually. Right, which is used to signal like the end of the chorus section. So this is interesting because look, it's pitch shifted over time. And that's really cool. I never thought about doing that, but it's very clever. And the thing is, I don't think you can even hear it during a normal play. So it's an interesting detail. Yeah, if you know it's there, you can hear it. Otherwise, I would be distracted by all the other stuff that's happening. So it's a very nice detail. I like it a lot. I think they also do the same thing here. Same. So here, this section is not even being pitch shift like over the sequence, but like each individual hat. I guess it is a ride. Anyway, is like slightly going up. You can see that. Okay, so that's the ride. We have vocals. So this 3, 2, 1 is just a one-off. 3, 2, 1. It's got some reverb on there. Not much more than that. Vocal effects. This is weird. Okay, so I don't know what that is, but it looks like delay plus, I don't know, some reverb thing with a envelope on it. I don't know. But the rest of this sounds, frankly, it's creepy. But I reckon that they took one of the vocals and reversed it and slowed it down a lot. That's my guess. This is part of the build. So this part here is interesting. I learned this from watching, who was it? Jay Hardway. He was describing how he did elephants, and basically, there's another better example actually. I think it's here. I'll jump over. Right. So what they did here was, you can see if you look at these bands, they actually line up. So this band here, there. So one technique of leading into a lead part is that you play one note of it, or I guess sing one note of it. Then you apply a shit ton of reverb. So you get these long tails. You bounce that, and then you import that back in, and you reverse it. And you just stick it in front somewhere. So I don't know what else I want to say about that. It's nice because you're using sounds that already exist and putting different spins on them. It makes it feel more cohesive and smooth. And it's a nice touch. It's it's like a little bit of taste for like the listener of like what's gonna happen next. So I guess I did that over here in the vocal effects track. Yeah, same thing, but these line up pretty well too. Anyway, what are we doing? That's creepy, but anyway. Oh, that's interesting. You see these? I think that's like a phaser, flanger, one of those two. I never learned a difference between those two. Okay, yeah, it's all the same. Hey is a bunch of hays. Lots of reverb, and you can see, phaser too. Huh, interesting. There's something here, but I don't know what it's doing. It sounds almost metallic. Yeah, so these two are the same sample, but pitch shift down a little bit. So this is like C6 and this like A5. So I don't know, what is that? 3 semitones down? But that is an idea for you guys to do. If you have vocal samples, you can pitch them down and make them sound different. Like, it's about, in this case, it's about getting the most mileage out of your samples and stuff. This one's a stutter. Yeah, oops. I wish there was a shortcut for this. Anyway. And I think that's the rest of it. Nothing. Yeah. Okay. Next we have the actual vocals. And I've never listened to Uffie before. Don't even know who she is, but her English singing is very particular. Like the vowels are strange sounding to me. Very pure. Like spaceship, right? It's like a very pure E, like the kind that you expect in Spanish or like Japanese. It's not a diphthong like spay. I suspect that she might be Swedish, but I don't know. Or it could be a singing style that she decided for this song. Yeah, that diphthong is also strange to me. So this is what is one of the more curious parts of the track, is that they used either an actual an actual Vocaloid, or they had someone sing in a very Vocaloid style and they applied some processing to it. But so if you don't know what Vocaloids are, those they're very Japanese, and it's fitting because the music video was filmed in Tokyo, so you should go check that out. And a Vocaloid is, some company does them. They record a lot of singers and they basically create a voice that can sing, and you just tell it the words and the notes, and it will just generate well, stuff basically. I found a spaceship. You got the kind of love that's taking me new places. Though the breath there is, I don't actually know if the Vocaloids can actually do breaths, but that'd be interesting to know. Yeah, I showed you guys this. The rest of the vocals might not be so much. So there's a harmony part here. I'm just gonna turn that on. Take me out, get me lost in the night. Take me out, get me lost. You take me out. It almost sounds vocoded a lot. That might be how you can create a Vocaloid kind of sound. Anyway. Yeah, okay, Vocaloid. I found a spaceship. Yeah, that stuttering crosses over into the vocals too. That's interesting. Spaceship is taking me new places. Take me out, get me lost, get me new places. Delay. Yeah. And get me new places. A little bit of reverb tails here. Okay, cool. Vocals too. I'm on a spaceship. Got the Galantis taking me new places. Reverb, I guess. You take me high. I found a spaceship. Oh, that's nice. Spaceship. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here, actually. I never realized. I found a spaceship. You got the Galantis taking me new places. Take me out, get me lost in the night. Take me out, sleep. You got the Galantis taking me new places. Yeah, so that sounds chorusy to me. Okay, cool. The bass. So I like this. You can see there's a lot of noise mixed into this, and I guess there's a phaser running through this as well. So it's got some movement to it, especially this. I'm not sure how you do that. Anyway. We're going to drop. Okay, so for. So there's got a bit of movement there. And you can hear the side chaining here. So I don't know if you can hear like the clicking on every downbeat, but that's where the kick drum would go. Again, same thing with the piano part. So it fits in right there, right there. That was a nice touch there too. And they've got that nice phaser going up right into the break. Very curious. It almost looks frequency modulated. Drop. Okay, so that's the bass part. The clap is not so interesting. The only thing you need to know is they use like 2 different clap samples with quite a bit of low mids here and reverb during the build. Whoops. Okay. Yeah, that's all there. We've got a crash, which is pretty normal. I think they use the same one. It's slightly louder. Why? Okay, why did he do that? Okay, it's just to indicate like the next bit that's happening. That's interesting that it's 6 bars here. Anyway. They have a drum loop. I think 2 of them. So it sounds sort of like a dance, like funky dance loop. Got some toms, I guess. And the thing is, you don't really hear that funkiness when it's actually in the drop. But what it does add is a lot of movement. And I don't personally use drum loops, and I'm starting to think I probably should, because they're pretty nice. Yep. The rest of it is the same. They've got a builder thing. Band stops, which is curious. I think this is to leave room for the riser. Maybe? Maybe. Yeah. Just a little bit of room. And high pass sweep. Drum fill. Another drum fill, same thing. Yeah, pretty standard, not much to see here. The risers are very particular. Okay, well, that's just noise riser, low pass with low shell, I think. Low cut. So you got your normal, like, you know, posting riser here. And you've got this weird shit going on. So I think there's 3 different ones. So you've got this pulsing one, you've got this a lot of harmonics. I assume it is narrowly bandpassed and sweeping up. And you have probably frequency modulated, like low LFO, I guess. Hard to really say. I don't know. I would have to try this out and see what happens. But it's super strange, and this is probably the most complicated riser I've ever seen. Most risers are not that complicated, or not layered in this way. So this is very interesting for me. The thing is, with all the frequencies there, it almost sounds like it's whining, so it's pretty cool. Yeah. I'm not sure if this is intentional. It feels like an artifact of turning on a filter. Yeah, it just sounds weird. Yeah, I mean, not everyone's perfect. Even people who make lots of money making music and stuff might not make the perfect tracks, so that's fine. Yeah, so they have variations on that risers throughout the thing. Like that one. I don't know what's going on there. Obviously, pitch LFO, or well, however they generate this, but then it's also modulated, so it's rising over time. And this is a bunch of single oscillators, so sine waves. I guess maybe it's something like that. some reverb on it. So I might have to try this out and see for myself. Okay. And then we have the last thing, which is guitar. Whoops. Guitar sample. How this fits in is this is during the drop, and I think it fits in with the piano. Yeah, so like it sort of leads into the next bar, and so it gives it like a little bit of a hop. So there's a little bit of movement there. So that's on beats. What is that? 1, 2. The and of 3 and the and of 4. Oh. 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and yeah. So that's something to take away from that. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, I think that's everything. Yeah, I don't see any other tracks. Right. Anyway, that's about all I'm gonna say for this. If you learned something today, like, share, comment, subscribe, do all those things. And if you didn't, well, sorry. But I enjoy doing this. I would probably do some more. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be getting that many more stems to analyze, but I will do some other analyses of just like the bounce track. And I think that would be useful for me and for you guys as well. So yeah, no, I will not share the stems, unfortunately, but I think that's all there is to it. So in the words of Seamless, have a nice day. Okay, I'm not gonna say those words. Yeah, have a good one, guys. See ya.